Welcome to the No Dress Code Pod, where we keep it real, celebrate Black excellence, and dive into the things that matter most. Tune in, vibe out, and let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of the No Dress Code Pod. I'm your favorite host, as well as your favorite hoochie, legs out, not open, Bree. And if this is your first time listening, then thank you. If you're a returning listener, then you already know what to say. Thank you so much. So today we have a special guest. Special guest, do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Sonny McEwen.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Sonny McEwen. If this is your first time listening, then thank you. If you're a returning guest, then thank you so much. I hope that you guys are having an amazing week. If you're not, there's something I could do for you in this moment, but continue to speak it over you and pray that you have an amazing week going forward. Drop it in the comments though, and let somebody help you with your week. So, Sonny, tell us, how's your week been?
My week's been well. Busy getting business appointment contract.
Okay, I want to hear more about that. But before we get into it, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Um, 34 from Inglewood, California. Former boxer, active real estate investor, active realtor.
Oh, you are a realtor. Oh, okay, I wasn't sure about that. I knew you did real estate. I just wasn't sure what you did in it.
Investor.
Okay. So love your little quick intro. Your little quick intro. So let's start with where we met, which is boxing.
Mm-hmm.
How did you first get into the sport, and what made you stick with it?
I got into boxing when I was like 14. I'm from the street, so being a young dude from my neighborhood, we it wasn't a lot of young dudes, so um I was fighting a lot of grown men. So yeah, that's how I got my best friend started training at Rogers Park. That's what.
Really? I thought you started boxing just when you got with Boost.
Nah, that's why I came back and started training with Boost, because I used to spar Boost at Rogers Park when he was turning pro, and I was just learning how to box. Like,
Mm. Hmm. That's interesting.
mm-hmm.
So I know you're not training anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But what did a typical day of training look like for you? Like, how did you prepare for your fights?
Training was I mean, how far out in terms of like, are you referring to?
I don't know how long does it take you to train for a fight.
I mean, typically my fights were usually like back to back. So like I was having a fight like every other month. So I'll have my fight, take like a week off, and then we bite just training, and then camp is usually around like 6.
Mm, that's crazy. That's crazy. I went to most of your fights, though, except for I think like the last two. I didn't go to the Mexico fights.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to so bad, but I was dealing with this man, and he just was not having that.
In Mexico.
He was not having that.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to all the ones at Commerce except for like two, I think.
Yeah, commerce. I enjoy. I mean, I like the whole experience. It was a good experience for me, the whole process.
What was that process though? Like, I mean, other than
Um, I mean, just being committed to something, the discipline, the dedication, to show up every day, and just seeing over time, just gradually starting from one place, and over time, you see how you kind of transform, elevate, and progress. It was enjoyable.
So did you ever have like a tough moment in the ring, be it training, your fights? Was there ever any moment where you were like, I don't know?
Um, I wouldn't say in the ring or nothing like that, because it's far more reactionary, and it's like you already kind of like been training, and like you just kind of make the adjustment as you go. But probably like when I first started boxing, really when I was in the amateurs, because I remember when I was in the amateurs, I was uh I was in camp with Zerto and Anthony Sims at the same time. I would spar. I was kind of. I think I was sparring like 4 or 5 days a week. So like some days I'll go to East LA and spar with Sims, and then Hollywood sparring with Zerto. So like that kind of just fast tracked a lot of my experience and adjustments growing in boxing, scoring like those are pretty premier fighters. So and I'm an amateur fighting them.
That's crazy. I remember Boots wanted me to spar with Tiny back to back.
Yeah, I remember playing in those sessions back to
He
back to
wanted
back.
me to spar with Tiny back to back. Baby, after the first day, I was tired, out of breath. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made it the second day. Thank God.
Yeah, get real.
Yeah, thank God she canceled because I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it the second day.
Get real for sure.
Oh my goodness. So boxing is as mental as it is physical. How do you keep your mindset strong, especially before a big fight?
So I mean, just being from the streets, being in prison is just not really like the fight. I've been fighting forever, so to get into a fight with somebody is not really like.
It wasn't a big thing for you.
No, I mean I've been fighting forever, so it's not a big.
Yeah, whew. That's crazy. But let's talk about real estate.
Mhm.
So you are a real estate agent.
I am.
Okay. And you are an investor.
Mhm.
I've seen you work with a lot of developers, correct?
Well, flippers for the most part.
Okay. So how does that go? Like how do flippers meet you or how do you meet the flippers?
So usually it's either I'll meet them because I have like an active project or a contract where I don't want to take it down and I'll just rather kind of just make money on the front end as opposed to flipping it and then making the money.
Oh, so you flip too? Oh, okay. So how'd you get into that?
I've always really been interested in real estate. I first got interested in real estate when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
I heard about that book. I haven't read it, but I heard about it.
I used to read it like every.
Okay, you got me about to read this book.
It's a good book.
You got me about to read this book.
It's a real good book.
Okay, so what made you do it? Like, what did you learn from that book, though?
Just principles in terms of I mean, it's not necessarily the fact that it's real estate. It's more so in the fact of how you learn how to make money. So to me, I've never kind of had the like mindset of like, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't care to like go clock in. That's how I want to make. My thing was always, how can I create money on my own terms?
Mm-hmm.
So, just reading that, he talks about that a lot more so, way so more so about mindset and how you acquire things as opposed to what it is you're actually.
Yeah, I'm be honest. I don't want to clock in either.
Nah, it's not for.
I want to say about the 3 years we known each other, I done had a few jobs.
Yeah.
I done had I done probably had a new job every year.
Yeah, that clock. I mean, I had a job when I first came home, but yeah,
What was your job when you first came home?
I worked at Denny's.
Real shit?
Well, no, Crenshaw and Coliseum. I used to work there.
What? What was you doing?
I was a server.
I can't imagine it. I can't imagine.
I mean, I only had the job for a year because like COVID hit, and then I just dove all the way in real estate.
Oh damn, that's crazy. I never would have guessed you worked at Denny's.
My little brother got me the job right when I came home. That was my first job.
Oh wow. Okay, so before you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, were you interested in real estate, or that was just like the thing that clicked for you after?
I was interested just in being an entrepreneur from I was like 9, 8 years old when I watched the interview by Magic Johnson. He was talking about being an entrepreneur. I couldn't even say the word then, but I was watching an interview by him and it just intrigued me. Kind of have freedom of choice and stuff like that. From then, I always wanted to just create something. I just didn't know what sort of angle.
Okay, so from what part of that interview stuck with you the most?
Honestly, I don't even remember most of the interview. All I remember really was entrepreneur and him that the fact that he was able to create money on his own terms and provide for his family and sort of create the sort of life that he wanted on his own sort of terms as outside of somebody else's like direction.
That's interesting. I mean, if you think about it, you kind of went the same way as him. You guys both did professional sports,
Hmm.
and then segued that into other
Yeah,
aspects.
yeah, yeah. Say that definitely.
Look at you living your little boy dreams. Can you walk us through one of your favorite real estate projects or deals and what made it stand out for you?
um, I would say one of my first deal actually. I don't even know if I should be saying this,
You should be saying it.
so the first deal I actually did, I was actually cold calling him from prison. So um, I started cold calling like 2017, and we just were talking for about 18 months. He didn't know I was in prison when we were
Oh, so
talking.
you wasn't calling collect?
Of course not.
Okay.
um, so yeah, that was even though I didn't make a lot of money off that deal. It was just like it just made the whole process real because I followed up him for a whole 18 months before we actually closed the
That's crazy. I need to know, how did this deal begin? How did this deal even start?
deal. So I used to I first learned about real estate from Jay Morrison. Um, he under a lot of fire right now.
That
For
name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's under a lot of fire right now for I guess unscrupulous stuff he did. But I took his course in prison and he just taught me about that's the first thing I learned about real estate. Well, the first course I took, he taught me about wholesaling. So initially, I was always of the mind that to get into real estate, you just needed a bunch of money, whether it's like to invest or buy your own rental property or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he introduced me to wholesaling, and that was all I need to hear, just learning the whole process. So, he talked about actually like gathering the data or gathering a list and pretty much cold calling, reaching out to pretty much strangers, see if they had any interest in selling property or selling their property.
That's interesting. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm glad that you didn't let prison hold you back. Cause you was in that bitch taking courses.
Yeah, so
You was in that bitch taking courses. She was cold calling like, God damn, if
yeah.
Bleep can do it, then damn, what's y'all excuse on the motherfucking street? It's not making no sense to me.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, what is wholesaling though?
So, wholesaling is essentially brokering or like, um, putting together a deal without a license. Essentially, um, you're a seller. You have a property. You want to sell it, but you don't want to put it on the market. Um, you kind of like want a quick transaction. Me being a middleman, I introduce you to buyers, or I introduce you to people that want to purchase your property because this is how they make their living. So they make their living by investing in property, updating, and reselling property. So put those two together, I get paid for them for the use.
That's crazy. I never thought about that. I never even knew about that. Believe me, you need to teach a course. You need to teach a course because I'm tired of clocking in for people. You go ahead and teach the course. So, what's been the biggest challenge you face in real estate?
um, biggest challenge for me, I would say is making the whole process. I mean, it's kind of like a backward statement. just partially because trying to make the process as predictable as possible. But in entrepreneurship, that's the thing about it. It's not necessarily something to where it's like I'm gonna be guaranteed to do this amount of deals every month or something like
Yeah.
that. So like, um, there are situations where it's amazing doing 2 or 3 deals a month, or probably get a deal every week or something like that. But then there's situations like you go on a little drop. Like, I mean, you got deals you're dealing with where it's caught up in some sort of process, or it's the end isn't right there. So yeah, that can frustrating part about it.
So what is a good month for you, or like how do you gauge what's been a good month for you versus what's been not the best?
Honestly, it's not like a dollar amount. It's more so about the productivity. Like if I'm able to create good relationships with potential clients or something like that. If I'm consistently doing that, like say out of like a month, I'm able to create a consistent like ledger of clients and relationships and stuff like that. I know over time, they have their returns for me. You know, creating a relationship, following up with them, being of service, helping them in ways in ways that I can that actually help them get to where they want to go.
So networking. It sounds
Absolutely,
like
100%.
okay. For anyone interested in real estate, what's one piece of advice you wish someone had told you when you started?
Um, it's definitely more so about your inputs. People kind of get their misguided into believing that I guess you're like somewhat deserving of something or something like that just because you decided you wanted to invest or do something like
Hmm.
that. But that's not necessarily the case. It's 100% your inputs and your team, people that you surround yourself with. Because obviously, if you're learning something, you're trying to acclimate yourself to a new environment. So you need the right people around you to help accelerate that and help you get through the sort of learning curve doing business.
Okay, so I have seen on your Instagram, every now and then you post like pictures of your team meeting.
Hmm.
What are those? Like, who are they? Like, what type of team is that? I know it's for real estate, but like,
So, like you're referring to a team that's so we role play every day. So, people expect to do deals, but they don't even know how to perform
hmm
when they're presented with an opportunity. So, the fact that we role play every day doesn't make things perfect or nothing like that, but it definitely increases the probability because, like, I've literally went on appointments with people, and it's literally just like role play. Just because we role play it so much, we do it every day. Once I'm having this conversation with a person, I'm able to relax because I do this every day. So it's just like practicing boxing. You're
hmm
sparring every day, so when you present with something, it's like, oh, I train. So it's not really a big deal as opposed to if you don't train, you're not on the mitts, you're not on the bag or nothing like that. When you get in the ring, it's like, what am I supposed to do?
yeah.
So,
Okay, and how did you build this team?
well, I didn't build the team. My partner Yanni, he made a post on Instagram one day and was asking, like, he wants to kind of help people in terms of earning or just closing. A lot of people haven't did a deal before. They're in real estate, but they've never done a deal before. So he was like, I want to start a group and help people get their first deal. So I joined the group. I've done deals before, we were together, but I joined the group just I've seen him being active. We were part of the same mastermind group. I was excited.
Okay. Is this group accepting new applicants? Like, if
Yeah.
somebody wanted to join, how would they go about joining? Do they need to follow you? How does that work?
Yeah, you can reach out to me. Reach out to my partner Yanni. I mean, is if you're interested in doing it.
So did you have to get certified to do this? Because I know
No.
you said you started in jail. So when
No.
you got out, did you have to get certified, or how's that
Well, I
work?
have my license now as a realtor, but before, no. I mean, because wholesaling is just that's a whole different side of. It's so many different sides of real estate. Wholesaling is one side. That's the side that you don't need to actually have any sort of license. They're
Okay.
trying to shut it down though.
Why?
Frankly, the Association of Realtors they don't get paid, and they're not getting paid, so it's like
Cutting out the middleman.
I mean, not only that, it's like they're not getting paid, so it's like they have to pay all these dues, but you got these people here that don't really have to pay nothing. Like
Oh, okay, yeah,
just like kind of like Uber with the taxis and the Airbnb and all that stuff. Like
yeah.
we
Mm-hmm.
have to pay all these dues, and we did all this kind of establish ourselves, and then you got these that don't. No, hell no. That's so. So just politics essentially.
Mm. Um, so have you thought about teaching a class?
We've done a class before well, in my office before, but um me as of right now, for the most part, I'm um definitely more interested in just building out my business more so, as opposed to class or stuff like
So speaking of your business, what is the name of your business? 'Cause I don't think you said it yet.
uncommon properties.
Okay. And where do you see your business in 5, 10 years?
Um, in 5, 10 years, I see myself holding more doors. So I'm interested in doing small multifamily, like 4 unit stuff like that. 30 doors. Um, 7 figure business. Yeah. Cash flow positive. For the most part, I don't really see myself going outside of California. So for the most part, all of my business Southern California.
Okay. But what does doing doors mean?
So owning doors, owning property. So being a landlord, a homeowner. Well, not even a
Okay.
homeowner, but a property owner.
So I know when you DM me earlier, you
Hmm.
said that you had just finished door knocking.
Hmm.
What is that exactly?
So I use a app called Property Radar, and I create lists essentially for properties that are in foreclosure or NOD, notice of default. So those are the people that I target, just based on I can help whether we can help them keep their property or if they're in a situation where they actually sell their property. Um, yeah, it's to me is what they call it distressed real estate, and that's kind of what I'm used to coming from as far as coming from wholesaling.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a real big transition for me to stay in that sort of pocket of real estate because there's so many different pockets. You got luxury, convention, you got retail. Like you got the families looking to buy property or sell their property, but um, foreclosure is like a part of distress where somebody either they need to sell the property because family passed or maybe going through a divorce or fall on some sort of financial hard times. The guidance.
Oh, that's actually, I really didn't know you had your real estate license.
They just gave it to me last year.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm not that far off
No,
then.
no,
I'm
they
not
just
that
gave it
far
to me
off.
last April.
Mm. Was it hard to get it?
No, I passed it the first time I took the test, but the problem was my felony. So um, I just got my record expunged. Someone said I expunged my record. They gave me my license.
Congratulations on
Thank you,
that.
thank you.
I
Thank
got my record expunged too.
you.
I got my record expunged too. But also you outside of real estate, you do taxes.
I do have taxes.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's not really nothing special. Honestly, for the most part, most of my resources go to real estate. I started my tax business. Um, I did pretty good the first 2 years, but real estate has kind of always been where my focus was. So I haven't invested as much as I was before. I mean, I still have it.
But you don't really do taxes like that no more.
I mean, I do it here and there, but I mean, if I got like, for the most part, it's just like family or friends or people that are, that reach out to me. I don't do like active marketing.
So how can the people find your real estate business? How can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. I didn't give you my card. Cards in I do. Um, Instagram, Facebook. My name, Sonny McEwen. Building my website now as well. So
Okay, I like how you got the red bottoms on this. And his card, okay? This is definitely giving. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, it feels so weird to call you Sonny. I'm not.
I mean, you can call me what you've been calling me. I mean, it's all good.
I'm just saying, it just feels so weird when you came up here and said, "My name is Sonny McEwen." I said, "Who the fuck is Sonny?" I'm not gonna lie. The first time I heard somebody call you Sonny, I was like, "Who the fuck is Sonny?" Hmm. So, where do we see our? Where do you see yourself, like real estate wise? You said you want to be a property owner.
Mhm.
And you said you wanted to own about 30 or so property.
Well, you said in 5 years, so
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's
over time, 30 or so
30
properties.
doors.
Okay. How can we as NDC and the listeners of NDC help you there?
Um, I mean, for anybody that needs assistance, whether it be you have family that's looking to purchase property for the first time, or just purchasing property in general, or family that may be looking to sell property or needs to sell property. They don't have to be any sort of distress, but any sort of real estate needs that you might have, whether it be um, looking for lenders to refinance on a property, or what you qualify for to purchase a property. We have the resources to help with all that.
I forgot what I was supposed to ask you. Oh, okay. So how do we as buyers know when is a good time to purchase? Like when to hold them and when to fold them in the real estate game?
I mean, honestly, it's always a good time to buy. Best time was buy was 20 years ago. The second best time is
Well, 20 years ago, we wasn't able to afford no home.
exactly. So the
Okay.
second best time to buy is now.
Do you see
Not
the
never.
market crashing? Cause I'm really trying to buy when the market crash. I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna sit here and lie to you because
honestly,
funds is low around here.
honestly, a lot of people, like, I used to go to this real estate meetup in Van Nuys, and they were sitting trying to figure out or predict when the market's gonna crash, and we was talking about that way back in 2020. So, and I mean, just just based on all the, like, the artificial inflation, and
Hmm.
just artificial money, and all that going on. So it's like, um, yeah, I wouldn't be able to predict none of that. I'm just sticking to the business plan. It's gonna be people needing to buy and sell property, regardless of what sort of cycle.
Very true. But okay, so for buyers like me,
Hmm.
right, who do need the market to crash real quick, but I mean, I'm not praying on nobody's downfall, but I
Hmm.
do need the market to crash just a little bit so your girl can feel like she got a part of her American dream.
Hmm.
What would be signs of that? Like, what would be signs that the market is crashing?
I mean, we've been in times. To me personally, I feel like we're already in a recession. I guess the government just telling the public. Um, yeah. To answer your question, like, the crazy part about that is the market crashing sometimes may interfere. So, kind of a give and take with that, because with a recession, that means people are losing work. Um, so if people are losing work, I mean, I know you don't want to be the person that's losing work, but so that comes with a bunch of different adverse factors. So, but job loss, um, that's like the biggest thing. Um, job loss, people, business shutting down. You see, like, restaurant, didn't churches close? 99-cent store closed.
99-cent store
They're
did
closing
close,
all their
yeah.
branches, big lots, like, so. Those are all signs of, like, some sort of market impediment. The market not doing.
And how do people know, like, is there a way to figure out like what they how much they qualify for,
Yeah.
or they just
So
need to
that's why
reach out?
that's why you. So I mean, I have personal lenders that I work with. So if we were to get in contact, then I would refer you to my lenders, and from there they can give you an idea of the ballpark that you qualify for, as well as like the program that they have, either first time buyers or whatever situation.
I heard you could buy a home with Section 8. Mind you, I'm not on Section 8. I wish I could, and I wish I was, but I'm not. But I heard you could buy a home with Section 8. Is that not true? I need to know for somebody who knows.
I mean, they have incentives for. I mean, because that's sort of like the directory of Section 8 is like you're on Section 8, and we want to set you up so you can get into a position financial or whatever the American. So, yeah, they do have programs.
That's not how they make it seem. Like when I be watching the videos, they make it seem like you just it's so much easier to get it.
I wouldn't say it's so much easier, but that's sort of the trajectory that they want to put you on. Like we're putting you in this. I mean, we're putting you in a situation, but you're in a situation to where, you have your circumstances going in your life, but we want to assist you. Although, for one reason or another, they may figure like you're disadvantaged because you don't have the same sort of opportunity.
And you said you started real estate when?
16, 17.
And you like it enough that you stuck with it.
Yeah. I mean, anything you involve yourself in is gonna have storms.
Consistency is key.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a storm no matter what. It don't really matter what you're doing.
That's true. Weather your storms.
Yeah.
I might. How are we doing? He ain't elaborating, but I'm working out with him. So let's take some advice for listeners. What advice would you give to someone who wants to pursue multiple passions like you have? And how do you suggest they balance it all? Because you balance.
So, honestly, I've actually been taking like the opposite trajectory, like the last few years, just based on just following and listening to the people that I think kind of are headed in a direction that I want to head in. Their main, you know, gym is focus. So that's why I've been like, you know, getting so many different things that was interested in, just because the whole thing is, um, I listen to Alex Ramosi a lot, and he was like, I'm paraphrasing kind of, but it was like it's hard enough. Some people pick one thing and they still can't be successful at it. Like you're so cocky that you think you do three things at once and be successful. So it's like for me, it was like when I heard that, it was like because it's like I'm doing okay in those fields, but it's like for me, I want to see like I want to see
Real
how far.
success.
Yeah, I want to see how far I can take it. So, um, what kind of person would I be to say that I want success, but you're switching your focus because everything boxing you need all of your focus. Real
Yeah.
estate you need all of your focus. So like if you're doing anything, you need all your focus. And it's like when you're consistently doing things, you have compounding effects just because you're doing it all the time, and then you have whether it be fortune, grace, favor, or whatever it is. But it's like the universe doesn't know where to favor you or give you the grace because it's like he's here, then he's there. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
So like my main thing was like just being focused on one thing and seeing how much you can grow that into a space where it's like, okay, I can truly take my hands off it and it wouldn't have any sort of adverse effect on it. So my whole thing has been extreme focus.
Find the focus
That's
of one thing right now.
yeah, for the last 2 years, that's because my coach asks me every year. He asks me like, what's like the mantra for the year? And for the last 2 years, focus.
Your real estate coach.
Well, I met him. Yeah, I met him in a program that I was in called Defy, and we've been talking for about 5 years. 2018. So we talk every week. And kind of accountability, brotherhood every week, and that's one of the things he always asks me, like, what's like the aim, the mantra for the last 2 years, focus, because like 2 years ago I seen what like a little focus start doing, so now it's like how much more focus.
Okay. For anybody who's aspiring in real estate, what's one piece of advice you give them about succeeding?
Um, I would say I think one of the most important things is your team, the people you surround yourself with, because if you're around people that aren't really producing much, then you get this false narrative of what the ceiling looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're around somebody that's like, and it's not necessary because, like, for somebody that's new, if you see somebody that's producing on a high level, just look like, what are they doing? But it's like they've created so much momentum from their efforts that a lot of it is just compound effects of being so, involved in it for so long. But it's like you want to see what the person's inputs are, so you can like, okay, what does it take for me to just build a little bit of that, and from there you can start seeing what you need, what your inputs.
So their inputs, are you saying their inputs dictate their output?
I- It doesn't necessarily. I wouldn't say that's why I don't really mention outputs, because it doesn't necessarily dictate it, but it definitely gives you a strong sort of reading on what you not necessarily should be expecting. But it's like, um, you're only gonna reap where you sow. So if you're not sowing anything, like, how can you expect to reap? So if you're sowing, it's like, if you're putting in the work, if you're being patient, if you have the consistency, then I mean, me personally, so like I read the Bible a lot. So like, I listen to this dude named Joshua Selman, and his one of his statements is God cannot be mocked. So it's like, if you're putting in the work or the efforts and you're not reaping the results, then in informal ways he's being mocked, because it's like you're doing something, I'm not getting nothing out of it. So it's like, if I'm in the streets doing something, I shouldn't necessarily, like, whatever the outcome be, like,
Mm-hmm.
I should reap some sort of results from it. So if you're putting in this work, you're not seeing anything from it, and it's not necessarily because you're not good at it, but if you're putting in the work, making adjustments, that's because that's one thing that people get mixed up. Like, you figure just keep putting in work, you deserve something. But if you're putting in the work, quite naturally, you learn what you're not doing right. So if you're seeing what you're not doing right, and you're constantly as well making the adjustments, and you're not seeing no return, it's like, that's just possible.
I learned a lot about you today, Bleep. I learned a lot about you today. For someone also piggybacking on that, if someone is hesitant to start, what's one step they can take today to move forward in the real estate?
I mean, I'm not big on hesitation, so
Just do it.
I mean, because you're gonna die anyway, so that's the only way out this game is death. So
I know.
so I mean, yeah. So it's like, where do you? I don't.
You went from selling houses to selling grips.
I mean, I'm just saying, because it's like there's no you want what Les Brown says, you're not gonna make it out alive. So what? That's the guarantee. You're not gonna make it out alive. So
Yeah.
what do you? Anybody who you're kind of scared to show something, they're gonna be dead too. So it's like, what shy about somebody feeling any sort of way about anything? There's gonna be a point in time where you need.
Definitely.
It just came.
Oh. You can walk through. You can edit. Okay. If you could go back in time, what's one piece of financial or career advice you'd give your younger self?
You said financial or career?
Mm-hmm.
Career, career would definitely choose one thing. Like, you gotta choose one thing. You can't do it all, no matter how good, or no matter how good you.
I will admit, I was inspired when you was doing all three.
I mean,
It's definitely inspiring.
yeah, it's inspiring, but it's
I get what you're saying as well, though.
yeah.
You can't be the best you can be because you are spreading yourself in so many different directions.
To like making a dating analogy, you can't please, no matter how good dudes. Like you may be thinking like like you may be, but you don't even recognize what you're where you're lacking just because you figure like I'm doing, I'm doing what I'm supposed to, or I'm doing the best I can be doing just with in terms of what I got to give. So you don't even she can see it. So like Fox can see it, real estate can see it. Like you're not
Mm-hmm.
performing in these spaces. But in my mind, it's like I'm doing what I can with the time I have allotted towards to put in the work that I have. With I only got a few hours to do this with you, then I gotta go over here. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, because you did used to run sometimes. You'd be like, oh, I gotta go. I
I got
got.
appointments I gotta get to, like, so it's like, so yeah.
And what's next for you? Any big plans for 2025?
Um, kind of just got my head down working. Yeah, got some objectives for the year, but for the most part, just putting my head down working.
That's it?
Just work. I mean, cause for me, I don't. I mean, I don't have.
You don't like to speak on it?
No, it's not even I don't
Oh.
like to speak on it. It's just I don't in terms of I don't have any sort of obligations in terms of I don't have children. I'm not dating right now, so it's like for me, um, I listen to Myron Golden too. So like Myron Golden be like, why would you kind of cut yourself short? Like, what if I were to say like I want to make $100,000?
And
My
then
life,
you
my
could
life's
end up.
looking at me like 100,000. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like, um, yeah. So for me, it's like I have objectives on things that I feel are necessary, but at the same time, I won't put no ceiling with my possibility.
So speaking of kids, since you brought it up, are you planning on having any?
Yeah,
How many you gonna have? Honestly, when you used to post the pictures, you and Boosie used to post pictures in Mexico, I thought those were your kids.
not in my
Yeah, I kind of figured it out. You ain't. I
yeah.
kind of figured it out. You ain't had none, but I thought those were your kids.
Yeah,
So you seem to be really good with kids. Like, so how many you thinking about having?
I mean, probably max like
Okay, that's not bad. I
yeah.
really thought you was gonna say more.
When I was younger, I used to say crazy. I used to be like, I want like 7 kids. I mean, because it's six of us. So like for me, like that's what I used to say when I was younger. But like once I started to really understand what it takes to raise a kid, then that kind of definitely perspective.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. You give the type that would want a lot of kids.
I did, but just understanding the sort of attention that a child needs can't really have a million kids trying to give you a focus. I mean, especially if you want your kid to, you want to produce a child that's like sort of best sort of version of themselves. Because like I think once you get over like 4 or 5 kids, the kids kind of raising each other. Because it's
Hmm.
like I can't give all these kids all my attention. Like it's too many of y'all.
Yeah, it's too many of y'all. Not enough
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
All these different personalities and everybody going through their own personal crisis. It's a lot.
Okay, so before we let you go, we have a Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna have your opinion. It says, "Am I the asshole for not covering my wife's cousin's losses at the casino? This happened over the weekend, yet my wife still gets texts from her friends saying how I could have helped them. So I, 29 male, was at the casino while my wife was with our daughters on a play date. I was waiting in the cashier line when I heard someone shouting my name. Turn around and realize it's my wife's cousin Jess and Chloe and their boyfriends. The girls ask me where my wife is. I tell them she's with the kids. One of the guys asks me if I'm cashing out because I'm up or because I don't want to lose all of my money. I tell him I did well today. The other bloke comments on how he's done a couple hundred. The other dude is the same. Overall, the four of them, they're probably down 500. I tell them that's not too bad, especially between four people. Jess says, not for me, but for them, it's a lot of money. I just said they shouldn't let the casino suck them in and lose what they can't afford to. Anyway, I'm next in line to cash out, and they're all still there, so I just go and collect. That's when they realized I cashed out a lot more than $500. My total was $11,000. When they asked how did I win that much, I told them what I do. Start on 2,500 and play blackjack. Thankfully today I got to roughly $8,000. Decided to play roulette until I was down to 7,500. Instead, I won and left with 11,000. Chloe was saying how happy she was that someone won, and then in her sweetest voice asked me, "So, can you cover our losses?" Obviously, I responded, "No. This is a good lesson for you." When Jess brought up we're family, I told her, "Your cousin didn't win, her husband did." They were getting upset, so I said I'll make a deal with them. I took 500 of my winnings, went to a roulette table, and asked them red or black. They decided black. I put $500 down on black. When the dealer called last call, I changed it to red. It came out red. I blew them kisses, took my $1,000, and said I'm leaving now. Obviously, by the time I got home, my wife knew what happened. She said I shouldn't have blown them kisses at the end, but she also said it's not my fault that they lost all their money. Jess, Chloe, and their boyfriends and their mom are upset I didn't cover them because not only did I win, I also have more money. So who do you think is the asshole?
There's motherfuckers who gambling their money. I look like your daddy something like that. Yeah, no. Yeah, that'll be a quick way to start a fight. No, I'm not. I don't gamble, so I don't feel for you at all.
I don't gamble either because I hate to lose money.
I mean, I've done well at it, but I just I went cold turkey. So
Cold turkey, it sounds like you had an addiction.
I didn't, but I was in
Come
prison.
on, tell me, Bleep.
No, because like one of my cellies, bro, he made me go cold turkey because we was shooting dice in prison. I'm shooting dice for like 2.5 hours. I probably hit for like 12,000 a day. And so like in prison, when we usually gamble, we only usually charge them like half. So like I won 4,000, so just two. So I'm going around to collect, and everybody that owes me my celio.
That's crazy. First off, I need you to teach me how to shoot dice because ain't no way you was up 4,000 and just let it go. Like, go ahead, teach me the game, Bleep. That's all I'm saying. Teach me the
It
game.
was just one of them nights. I was just hitting, but yeah. Yeah, I left it alone. I haven't else.
Is it the way you roll? Is it the way you throw it? I just need to know how we doing it so I can figure it out.
I've been gambling since I was like 16. So
Oh, that's not that
14.
bad. I thought it was gonna be like 9.
Started. Yeah, high school. Crenshaw High. Ninth grade. That's where it started.
That's not that bad. I really thought you like I started gambling 8 or 9.
Playing sports. Basketball, football, fighting. Yeah, that's all my time.
So you went from basketball to football. Wait, that was in high school?
No, in like middle school, no, I didn't really start playing football till high school. But like when I was younger, I played basketball. So started off at like the YMCA.
I used to play for the YMCA.
Yeah, I used to play for the one by the Crenshaw Mall.
So you're not covering the wife's losses is all I'm hearing. The wife's cousin's losses is all I'm hearing.
Absolutely not.
So
Well, it depends on how close we are.
to the, it depends on how close the wife is or how close you
No,
are.
the relationships with the people that I lost. But I don't even think the people that I actually depends on how close we were. If I would have just heard it, then if we were close, then I wouldn't. It wouldn't be nothing we have to talk about. I'll just do it. But I don't know you like that.
That is a wild thing to ask somebody.
How do you come here? You know,
I got a cousin though. She wins at the. She loves gambling. She wins. She hit the lottery a few times. Like she wins.
if we close, then I wouldn't. I mean, they wouldn't even have to say nothing. There's nothing to talk about. But if you just like family in law, like figure it out.
Yeah, I think they was in laws because it was.
No, I'm just saying because it's like if we have the relationships where like we're close, but if you're just in law, I mean, the only reason we're acquainted with each other because we're in laws, then you just gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, just don't go to the casino if you don't gamble what you can't afford to lose.
I'm like,
And that's why I don't gamble. I really can't afford to lose. But I am going to need you to teach me how to roll dice. I was serious about that part. I'm finna start going to family reunions taking people's money now. I don't give a fuck how close we are, baby. Once I win,
Dice games getting treasures.
That's all I'm saying. I need you to teach me.
I haven't shot dice in a while.
Well, make sure you know how to do it before you come around trying to teach me. Cause I ain't trying to lose no money, child. So, Bleep, I forgot to tell y'all. I be calling him Bleep. That's really his name. I don't know why he came on here. I don't know where Sonny McEwen came from, but his name is really Bleep. And it's with a P, because I hear people saying it with a K. And I be like, y'all don't know it's a P, not a K?
No, I don't know what they be. I don't know.
But you be hearing that? They be like bleak. And I be laughing so hard because where did K come from?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. So Bleep, we had a good time with you today. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Before we let you go, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Uncommon with a K. Facebook, Sonny McEwen. Yeah. Uncommon Lifestyle on YouTube. So
Oh, you have a YouTube?
I mean, I don't really do much with it, but this year I'm gonna start a podcast.
Okay, but wait, what is the YouTube for now?
Real estate business.
Oh, okay. So you just like show the houses, or?
I mean, just whether it's the contracts, the closings, the flips, life.
When you say flips, you mean like the TV shows, how they be like the houses and they go in there and they flip them and destroy them and rebuild them? That's what you do? And you show it on your YouTube?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start this year. I wasn't before, but I'll start this.
You should. I'm gonna tune in. I like watching stuff like that. I like watching it. I'd be like, oh, you should have did this.
Yep.
Yeah, my uncle got a house in Corona. I feel like I could design it for him. He's not gonna let me, but I feel like I could redesign it for him.
Why won't he do it?
I don't know. They not gonna let me do it. But in my mind, I watched enough. I watched enough home shows to redesign the house for him. You know, if you ever need somebody to come design your houses, Bleep, you just let me know.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Woo! I can say that's a no.
Baby steps. Baby steps. We'll get you there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You need somebody to come design your houses for you. I got you for
We'll
sure.
get you with our designer first.
Yeah, you know. Oh, you got a designer too?
Oh, got a designer. I mean, we can't do them for. Gotta be some schematics.
I'll be staging it. Okay. Okay. I will make sure to include your card.
I'll send you my digital card as well.
Yeah, so I can include it in the video. People can find you. I'll also make sure to link your Instagram and Facebook and all that somewhere along these lines. So any final thoughts or advice you want to leave with our listeners with?
Final thoughts. I mean, just you're not gonna get it right the first time. You'll bump it. I feel like that statement. If it don't kill you, it makes you stronger. I've really like got a like a deeper understanding that because being more informed. So like bump your head on something, become more learn not to do something no more. So being more informed is a way of you not necessarily strength of like physical. Being informed is power.
And that's all we have for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share this as well as follow Bleep on Instagram and follow his journey as well on YouTube. And I will see you guys in next week's episode. Don't forget to tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to pull up because they're gonna love it here just like you do. And I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye. You're still here? You know the show's over, right? Don't cry. We'll be back next week. I gotta go be a hoochie. In the meantime, catch up on the older episodes.